Somewhere in Los Angeles, a man lives inside a house full of memories that are not his own anymore, in a city that never truly sleeps and never truly forgets, no matter how much it pretends to. Two coffee cups he cannot explain, a piano no one plays, a love he chose to forget because it hurt too much to remember, and hidden inside that forgotten grief is a secret that Solomon Vay never wanted the world to find. This is the episode where the truth about the echo chamber finally surfaces. Stay with me until the end, because what happens on that stage, and what happens after, changes everything Elijah Cross thought he understood about control, about memory, and about the child now sleeping in his arms. If you are just finding this series for the first time, know this: nothing in Los Angeles is ever really erased, not fully, somewhere, in a wrist terminal, in a stranger's grief, in a locked room beneath a church. Every memory that was taken is still waiting to be found. This is the memory merchant. Milo surrendered himself to save us, or at least that was what it looked like. Before NeuroVault took him, he placed a memory inside my wrist terminal, a single fragment, quiet and unremarkable on the surface, but heavy with everything that came after. It belonged to a man named Thomas Reed, a widower who had sold every memory of his wife after her death. Thomas lived in a quiet district untouched by neon, far from the glowing towers and floating advertisements that define the rest of the city. His street was narrow, lined with old brick and older trees, the kind of place time seemed to have forgotten on purpose. His house was small, filled with objects he could not explain. Two coffee cups, always set out, always unused. Two coats hanging by the door, one far too small for him. A piano no one played, its keys dusted but never touched. He knew he had once been married because the record said so, a marriage certificate, a photograph he did not recognize as himself, a ring he wore out of habit rather than memory, but grief had become too expensive to carry, so he sold it, the way so many in the city sell the parts of themselves they can no longer afford to feel. The strange part, the part that pulled me back into this case when I thought I was done with it, was that Thomas had purchased one of my memory fragments years earlier, without knowing what it was. Buried inside a stranger's grief, waiting for someone to come looking, it was hidden inside the feeling of losing his wife, layered so deep that no scanner had ever detected it. To access it, Tomas had to remember the pain he had paid to forget. He had to walk back into the one night he had erased on purpose, and stand there long enough for me to find what Milo had left behind. We found the buyer who now owned his grief, a performer in the memory district, a woman who had built an entire career from other people's sorrow, who used purchased suffering to create emotional concerts for wealthy audiences who paid to feel something they had never earned. On stage, under lights that made the pain look beautiful, she relived Tomas's final night with his wife, while thousands watched and wept. Grown men in tailored suits wiped their eyes. Women in the front row reached for each other's hands. None of them knew the man whose life they were consuming. None of them cared. Memory had become entertainment. Grief had become a ticket price. And somewhere in that theater, wrapped inside another man's pain, was a piece of my own past waiting to be found. We interrupted the performance and restored the grief to Tomas. It was not gentle. It was not clean. He collapsed as years of loss returned in a single moment, his whole body folding under the weight of everything he had chosen to forget. I expected him to hate me. I expected him to scream, to curse my name, to ask why I had taken away the peace he had paid so much to buy. Instead, he smiled through tears, his hands shaking against the floor of that theater. I forgot how much she mattered, he said. Inside the grief, buried beneath years of borrowed sorrow, was my memory fragment, and when I finally reached it, I saw myself confronting Solomon Vay after discovering the echo chamber's true purpose. Vay admitted that NeuroVault was not erasing random memories. It was removing the specific memories that produced resistance, not chaos, not randomness, precision. A protest leader forgot why she was angry. A journalist forgot her source. A judge forgot the evidence that once kept him awake at night. A father forgot his missing daughter, and stopped looking, and stopped asking, and stopped remembering that there was ever anyone to look for. Control did not require violence. It never had. Only selective forgetting, applied quietly, applied legally, applied to a population that never noticed the moment their anger disappeared. I had planned to expose everything. I had the proof. I had the names. I had Vay's own voice admitting what the echo chamber truly was, but Lena stopped me before I could release it. People will demand the machine be destroyed, she said. They don't understand what is coming. She showed me a simulation of the future, one she had run 100 times, hoping for a different answer each time. Without the echo chamber, human civilization collapsed within 15 years. The numbers did not waver. War, scarcity, a species that could no longer forgive itself long enough to survive its own memory. With it, humanity survived, but free will slowly disappeared, year by year, choice by choice, until the people of this city were no longer deciding anything at all. We had built a choice between extinction and control, not a villain and a hero, not a simple answer waiting to be found. Just two futures, both unbearable, both true. The memory ended with Lena placing infant Aria into my arms. Her voice was steady, but her eyes were not. "Hide the archive in her," she said. "One day she will decide what humanity deserves." Tomas, still trembling from everything he had just remembered, gave me the final coordinates to the rebuilt echo chamber. It was not beneath NeuroVault headquarters, as we had assumed for months. It was beneath the oldest part of Los Angeles, under a church that had survived fires, earthquakes, and the rising ocean. A building that had outlasted everything the city had thrown at it, now hiding the one machine that could end it for good. As we prepared to leave, every public screen in the city switched to a live broadcast. No warning, no countdown, just Milo's face, filling every wall, every window, every floating display above the streets. Milo stood beside Solomon Vey. His eyes were empty. Whatever was left of him was somewhere else now, somewhere the echo chamber had already taken. Vey addressed Neo Los Angeles, his voice calm, almost gentle, the voice of a man who believed, truly believed, that he was saving them all. "Tonight, we end the age of pain." Behind him, the echo chamber began to turn. Across the city, people stopped walking, stopped speaking, stopped remembering why they were afraid. If you felt that silence settle over the city just now, imagine what it feels like to be Elijah Cross, holding a child who might be humanity's last real choice, standing beneath a church that hides the machine that could save everyone or erase them. Episode 7 is coming, and it goes underground, into the echo chamber itself. If this story pulled you in, make sure you are subscribed so you do not miss it. Turn on notifications because the memory merchant continues, and next time, there may be no forgetting what we find. Like this video if Tomas's story moved you. Comment below and tell me what you think Aria will choose when the time finally comes, and whether you believe control or collapse was ever really a choice at all. And if you are new here, welcome to Neo Los Angeles. Explore the earlier episodes while you wait, because every fragment we have uncovered so far matters when the echo chamber finally opens. You are not going to want to forget this one.